Welcome to another episode of the Guru Code podcast. As you know by now, the Guru is not about me, it is about you. It stands for GURU. So the company's name is GURU Company because it's all about you, the client. And it's my mission really to share with everyone the importance of being yourself, becoming yourself, and releasing the hidden talents that you've got. And believe me, you have so much to offer, but often this is hidden for so many reasons, none that we can really sort of go into here and now, because that's not what we're here for. But instead, I talk about self-leadership because I've discovered over the years that self-leadership is what business owners and leaders really do struggle with. We find it quite easy in a way to encourage other people and go, yes, you can, I know you can, I've got faith in you. When it comes to you yourself, that internal dialogue seems to be a little bit mute, doesn't it? You know, the infernal resistance that we get when trying to get yourself to push through something difficult or even challenge your team, having those difficult conversations. Often the reluctance is because of how you feel, not because of how they feel. And the fears that come up in you, the tenacity that gave you the courage to stick to your neck out and go it alone in business, or to go for the job, for being a leader. You know, when you're doing those sorts of things, that stubbornness, that tenacity that you felt then often comes back like a boomerang and can work against you equally as strong. So when you're thinking about, you know, getting out of your comfort zone, taking the next steps, you know, that same tenacity is like, oh, you don't need to do that, do you? No, let's not do that. No, we can do that later. Let's do this instead. You have all of that going on inside. So this is why we work on discovering your unique code, because believe you me, we have a code for everything. We have a code for what we're going to choose to eat, drink, love, laugh. We have a code for everything. So it's really important that we discover what that code is. And it is so unique that you will never fit into a box. And that is why self-leadership is so important. So every month in these podcasts and in the monthly musings letter, I seek topics that I think will hopefully resonate with you and give you nuggets of insight into what your code might be, just to tweak your interest, because a lot of this will resonate and will unlock certain things for you, and I hope you find value in it. This month's challenge, in order to really sort of get round your thinking, disrupt that status quo, we're going to look at the possible causes of energy drain. Now, we want to access where we're putting all our energy and whether it is in fact focused anywhere close to leading you to your vision. You see, if you're being drained by your business or by your job, that's not fun. So it's a cutting question, really, isn't it? Are you being drained by what you love? You know, have you felt like you're walking through mud, treacle recently, like it's an effort to even take a lungful of oxygen? Because if so, you know, you're not on your own, and it's been quite interesting over the last couple of months, and this is why I've chosen this topic to discuss with you, because several people have said that they've felt meh. There's no real reason for it. There's no real description of it. Just feel meh. So no matter how much in love you are with your business or your job, or how fired up you were at the beginning, it doesn't mean you're immune to having the soul sucked from you by being in it and being that close to it. You know, how can I put it? You know, even if you think about it, it's like rolling over in bed. Even that feels like a mission in itself, doesn't it? Despite the stunning sunrise, and you promised last night that you'd get up and you'd go for that walk, you know, you roll over and you think, God, even that was an effort. I cannot put my foot on the floor. We can't hide from this. Staying in bed is not going to resolve anything. We can't wait for things to get better. We need to take action, and you're action type people, otherwise you wouldn't be listening to this. Fatigue, you see, is like the next level above tired. And for me, this is where leaders and business owners often find themselves in that fatigue situation. You'll know it. If you've been there, you'll know it. You'll even sort of maybe even had a glimpse of it, I don't know, somewhere else in your life. But it's about that awareness. I would even go as far as to say the more in love and infatuated you are and committed you are to your business, the more likely you are to recognise this. So, if you think about it, if you've found yourself questioning, is the grass greener on the other side? Should I change direction? What if X, Y, and Z? What if I made the decision to leave? What would happen next? What if I made an excuse that actually, because of the situation in the government at the moment, I can't make ends meet and it's not my fault. It's all of those things, trying to escape from it and not look like you're giving up. All those excuses can look really, actually they look very plausible, don't they? At 3 a.m. when you're on your own in the dark watching the moon or the sunrise, if it was earlier in the year, they can really make sense, and they sound so plausible that actually, yeah, you could walk away, you could just quit, just wrap it up and go, yeah, no, it's because of X, Y, and Z. But it's not going to make you happy. So what is the solution? How do you manage your energy levels more effectively? How can we prevent this? Because I'm all about prevention. I mean, I love helping people, get back on their feet. But a lot of people sort of almost feel like they're leaking like an old party balloon sometimes. So we need to plug it. But we need to talk about two very large elephants that are often in the room with us, and they get everywhere. You can name them if you want to, if it helps, if it makes them feel a little bit more friendly. But actually, I want you to look at them because they do potentially create high-risk areas for us to look at, and they can make a massive difference just by addressing them. Now, the first elephant is all about your outcomes. If all your outcomes or your success and your dreams are dependent on other people, maybe it's dependent on interest rates, maybe it's dependent on what the tax levels are, what import duties are, what export duties are. Maybe if all your outcomes and your success depended on your partner, whether it's in marriage or whether it's in business, if they did this, then that would happen. If that could happen, then that could happen. That's a massive elephant that we need to address, because often that in itself can leave you feel very vulnerable and very isolated and almost insignificant. There are anything that your vision and your outcomes depend on, things that are outside of your control, need to be checked on as soon as possible. If you don't have that clear plan and strategy that actually is under your control, it's almost like we're not going to ever get any traction. And that's huge, all right? So if that's where you're sitting, do address it very quickly. Now, if you're coming to the boot camp on April the 8th, this is a perfect place to start working on those bull elephants. Okay, this is where we start taming them, and we make sure that we've actually got all your outcomes that are solely dependent on you and you having control over them. We've got to have that clarity. If you're not coming, you can still do this work. Okay, if you're not coming, you can also phone me and take advantage of the 30-minute complimentary call that I offer. So you can still do that as well. I'm also going to have a waiting list for the next boot camp. So if you're liking this, get yourself on it, because these are exactly the sort of things that can just speed so many things up, make your life so much easier. So the second one, okay, this is the second elephant. The second elephant or the other suggestion, if you like, in order to tame that elephant, is creating the right environment and headspace that you need in order to re-energize yourself. All right. Often we're so close to the wire all the time. You can't see. You don't get the same peripheral vision, if you like. You don't get the same perspective when you're in it. It's like when we see all these adverts for beautiful holidays. They've got a bloody drone that flies over that shows you the mountains in Wales and Scotland and everything, and you make a beeline for it, and actually when you're driving through it, all you can see are the rocks and the sides of the roads and other traffic because you're not up high enough. So often we don't actually invest in having ourselves come out of the situation to really look down on it like a helicopter view. But that is what's needed, because that's when you then start developing the strategy. The strategy for stronger self-leadership comes from that. All right. This is where we start backing ourselves. It's where everything else in your business, like I said, comes easier when you've got that perspective. Now, how? It's all right me talking about all of this, but how? Where are you going to start? So, now, without turning off and losing focus, I'm going to talk to you about the Wheel of Life. Lots of you will know about it. Lots will you have heard about it if you've been doing personal development over the years. Now, I have come up, all right, and I've redesigned it specifically for what we're talking about. Okay, you see, because it's all about that balance. It's all about that understanding, seeing that bigger picture. And this is what I want you to get, because this is what will come with the Wheel of Life. All right. Now, everything in life has a yin and a yang, a zester and zappers. I'm always talking about zesters and zappers. And it's interesting when you look at yourself, whether or not you bring energy to a room or whether you zap the energy out of it. You know, we talk about light and shadow, etc. We can go on and on and on. There's always two sides to everything. You can download your copy of the Wheel of Life. I mean, I'm talking about it being a balance, but you can download that off my website. Okay, so www.theguruco.co.uk. Head over there, find the resources tab, and it's in there, and you can download it. Yes, it'll ask you for an email address, but you can download it there. Now, it's an incredible tool, and it's got all the instructions in it, but it holds you accountable and helps you figure out where your efforts need to be focused so you don't lose traction. Often we get exhausted, don't we, spinning our wheels, and actually that could go into so much more and get us so much further. It's like I said, it's got full instructions. It's even got suggestions of what goes into the different areas, the different slices of the Wheel of Life, but you can choose your own. This is why it's so bespoke. So head over there, have a look, go through it, take some time out. It's got full instructions on how to complete it. It's a very powerful tool, like I said, and will give you powerful results, and you keep it going. It's not a one-off. So if you're coming to the business bootcamp, like I said, bring it with you. Absolutely perfect, because we can go over it. We can really nail it and really hone your skills in using it and making it a really important part of understanding and cracking your code, and really coming away with a very full strategy for what you want to do in the next year ahead. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. Good luck. As always, if you need help with it, there's a 30-minute complimentary call, no strings attached. Even drop me a message. You can email me on liz@theguruco.co.uk and let me know if you've actually come up with any barriers and we need to work through them. It will be my pleasure. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you very much.